Hi lovelies, now today I am set up upstairs on my writing bureau because I've been doing a study of the court cards of the Witch's Wisdom deck. Now somebody in my comments asked me, well, the Witch's Wisdom, how on earth do you connect with the court cards? They were finding it difficult to find a connection, and although I have done readings with this deck, I haven't really done a deep dive yet. It's only been this month that I've really seriously started studying, doing more readings and really sitting with these cards. So up until this point the court cards hadn't really come out, so I couldn't answer it immediately. So what I've done in that deep dive, I've started with the court cards and I've spent about 3-4 days just with the messengers or the pages of the decks, and that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the pages of tarot, and specifically the pages of the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. Now I've also used a number of books to support those studies. So first of all, I've been using Ethony Dawn, the lovely Ethony from here on YouTube, her book Your Tarot Court, which is a book literally just about the court cards. It's a fantastic book. It covers all of the court cards. It gives you like their archetypes, how they are in love, how they are in work, like shadowy aspects of them, and like the more positive attributes. It links them to different people in pop culture as well, which is really useful as a handle for me for memory. If you're anything like me, it's not the understanding, it's the retaining the memory that's tricky. So that really helps. It gives you like a key phrase for what their archetype is as well. So it not only links them to a character in pop culture, but it also gives them like a key phrase, and I loved that. I really loved it. So our key phrases for our pages from Ethony's book: the Page of Pentacles, let's see if I can remember this. The Page of Pentacles is the Naturalist. The Page of Swords is the Detective. The Page of Cups is the Empath. Page of Wands is Peter Pan. I've also gone back to this incredible book, Rachel Pollacks' 78 Degrees of Wisdom, which again goes through in depth all the different cards. For individual card study, this one's great. And then one of my favourite books for discovering and learning about the tarot is this Ultimate Guide to the Tarot by Liz Dean. It's just really fantastic. There's loads on each card. It goes through each card with upright reverse meanings. It talks about the card itself, and it's just fantastic. So those are the books that I've been using, as well as of course the guidebooks, especially the Witch's Wisdom guidebook, which in here you will get a single page with the wisdom of the card, which is the description of the card, the essence, so keywords, key phrases, the counsel, so the advice if that card comes up, and then some sort of magic like journal prompts, questions to ask, rituals to do, spells to make. So it's fantastic. So a change of location from my study desk in my bedroom at home to my caravan in Wales, with the dogs snoring behind me and my table slightly wobbly. I'm sorry guys, but I wanted now to talk about these court cards, and we're going to start off with this incredible Page of Fire. I want to talk about the pages. So fire, the wands, so the messenger of fire in the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. Of course, the Page of Wands in other decks, or the Seed of Wands in the Gentle Tarot, or the Spear Maiden in the Arthurian Tarot. So the archetype that we're given in Ethony's book for the Page of Wands is the Peter Pan or Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, which made me laugh. So it's a fun, joyful, impulsive, inquisitive, cheeky, playful, hard to pin down ball of energy. Imagine like a ball of fire. That's the archetype of the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands, of course, fire. It's all about action, passion, and the page often has many passion projects all open at the same time. They're really excitable, often drawn to creativity. Fire is all about creativity or spiritual seeking. Extremely enthusiastic in these areas. They are also somebody that looks outside of themselves. They are outward focusing and they want people to see them. They want the acclaim. They're confident, self-assured, theatrical. Drama is their middle name. And they want that attention. Imagine somebody wanting to be up on stage, wanting that attention. They want to be seen and they want to be validated. Now, because this page is all about action and being seen and getting acclaim and validation, they're also the page that I always view as being the most at the start of their journey, because to get acclaim for actions, we have to be a little bit more seasoned, to have the knowledge, to have the experience. This archetype, therefore, sometimes struggles with being at the start of their path. The start of their journey is more pronounced in the Page of Wands because I think of what they want. They want to be playful. We've got a seal in the Gentle Tarot. They want to be playful. They don't want things to be too serious. Imagine seals playing in the water. But they also want the acclaim and often don't have the experience or the knowledge to back that up. Therefore, they can often look for shortcuts or get other people to do their work for them. And they jump ship as well. They'll jump ship like a seal jumping the waves. If things get too difficult, the idea of things is much better than actually the reality of getting down to the hard work. And because of this, they often have excuses or scapegoats at hand. In their shadow aspect, they can really jump ship, leave people disappointed, flit, let people down, even though they're naturally aligned to stepping into the great adventure and using their energy to cheer people up. In their shadow, that lack of wanting to take responsibility, to grow up. The Peter Pan. They're the Peter Pan. They don't want to grow up. So, this is the archetype of the Page of Wands. A fiery, playful, action-based person who really wants to get acclaim. So, what are we seeing in the Witch's wisdom for that archetype? Now, in this archetype, we're told that this character has just found a pine cone dropped from this ancient pine tree, and look where the tree is. It's in this sort of barren landscape, just like in the Rider-Waite deck. We have the Page of Wands in the desert, looking at a few shoots, even though they're in the desert. I think that kind of barren landscape mirrors the barren landscape here. With him finding a pine cone, we haven't been given the whole tree yet. We haven't been given something in bloom. We've just been given a few shoots, or we've been given a pine cone that can hold the blueprint for a future to come. There is a path here to walk out of this barren landscape and to plant the whole future. It is a call to action. It's a call to adventure. The pine cone here represents the leaves here. We're told the energy courses through him when he finds the pine cone. He knows it's a blueprint for the future. See that bundle of energy ready to go? It's all there, ready to spring into action. Now, the Scarab Beetle on the shield is a sign of the lowliest creature serving what could mirror a higher purpose. So the Scarab Beetle, or the dung beetle, rolling up balls of dung to plant its egg in, often depicted in Egyptian mythology because it mirrored the sun god rolling the sun across the sky. The sun god and rolling balls of dung. This is so much the dichotomy that the Page of Wands always finds himself in. A lowly task. It couldn't get much more lowly than rolling a ball of dung to start life. And the Page of Wands would much more like to be seen rolling the sun across the sky and all the acclaim that would come with it. But they're not there yet. They've got a lowlier job. They're only at the start of their journey that would lead to those sort of accolades. And I think the Scarab Beetle on the shield is kind of keying into that aspect of this archetype. You've got to start where you start. So don't flit from job to job, rarely completing tasks. We're told here to see the signs that are given, to see the pine cone on the floor, to be prepared to pick it up, put it in your pocket and focus on that, on the start of the journey, the first step, not to try and chase after the whole tree or rolling the sun across the sky, to get better about doing the actual work. And then the book goes on to suggest that we look at our own lowly tasks, to see our own strength and determination in those lowly tasks. What are we prepared to do as first steps? To harness those first steps and that willingness to start low down, to harness and transform our life, to bring the sun into the sky. Our plan that's given to us when we spot these signs around us isn't the whole tree yet. It is just the pine cone, but that's the first step to transformation. If we just keep focused and not underestimate that each single step is equally important in the action. To seize the moment and to spot the sign is the first step to harnessing the future that we want. I love the mirroring of the landscape. I love the pine cone. I looked at some images of pine cones with the new shoots coming out of them. They're magical, wondrous pieces of nature that I think look like flames as well when they in their shape and in the way that they sprout new life. I love the fact that you have the ram here, the ram with the golden horns. Often, because of the Page of Wands energy, there often needs to be another energy to come in to keep them focused, to keep them on task, to let them stay for the long haul. And I think that's what the ram here represents, the ram with the golden horns. We're told that the man is strength and that the ram is truth. Truth requires light to be seen and time to become wisdom. I think that this ram representing truth is encouraging this energy and this archetype to spot the signs and to give it the time it needs, not to jump ship when the work gets hard. There's that double energy there that keeps the Page of Wands, or the messenger of fire, on task, which is so important. We're told, what lowly task have you undertaken that can show you your strength and determination and transform your life with power? Your answer is the message that unleashes magic. Accepting our starting point is the way to unleash the magic. Lovely depiction in this messenger of fire. Okay, next I am going to go, oh my gosh, this one. The messenger of water. We're in the water element, the element of emotions now. Of course, this is in the Rider Waite, a Page of Cups. We're in the cups suit. Now, just to confuse things, of course, the Gentle Tarot had the Page of Wands as a seal, but I think that was depicting more the playful nature of the archetype. So we're going to put that to one side now, because now we have seals in our cups suit in the Witch's Wisdom. We have an otter, you can see the water there in our Gentle Tarot. Arthurian Tarot, we've got the water again, we have the Grail Maiden here. The Messenger of Water, so the archetype of the Page of Cups is the Empath. In Ethony's book we're told it's the Empath, and that is how I view the Page of Cups. The archetype that feels absolutely everything, the emotional sponge, wearing their heart on their sleeves. Love is all or nothing. They want love with passion or not at all, but they can often get pulled into relationships that aren't good for them, codependent love, because they exist so much for feeling and love, and because of their empathic nature, they often can't quite tell what they're feeling, what feelings are theirs, what feelings are other people's. Emotions like an ocean flowing around them, with everybody's emotions getting mixed in together like a rainbow here. That's why the Page of Cups, I think, is one of the cards and the archetypes that really need to make sure that they are getting away to recharge, to cleanse their emotional state, time away on their own. And this archetype is often an archetype that can run away, often to bodies of water, to the ocean, to lakes, and we see water in all these cards because they give so much, they absorb so much. Boundary work is really important, grounding work in nature, in solitude, but also in creativity. This card is a card of real creativity, of falling into things that are beautiful, words that are beautiful, poetry that's beautiful, images that are beautiful, whether it's looking at or making. So an escape into creativity is another way of escaping for this archetype. In the guidebook it begins by saying that water carries the stories of everything that has ever been and ever will be. And I think in this respect we see the messenger becoming water itself, because the empath does the same. It carries the stories of everything and everybody around them and all those energies. It's the archetype that carries the emotions, the stories, the memories of all those they meet, the emotional sponge holding it all. And in this card it's represented by the legend of the Selkie, and this I think is my all-time favourite depiction of the Page of Cups or the Messenger of Water. The legend of the Selkie for me is perfect. Now, Selkies were mythological sea creatures in Irish and Scottish legends, also Icelandic as well, I think. And they're shapeshifters. They are seals in the water and humans on land. Legend had it that if a man could ever successfully find and hide a maiden Selkie's seal skin, then she would be his for life, a faithful but lonely wife. And if she ever found her skin again, she would flee to the ocean. In that myth, you've got it all, haven't you? You've got the seal skin representing the empath's boundaries, literally having their boundaries dissolved, having their seal skin stolen and hidden in a relationship where they're trapped, that codependent love that this archetype has to watch out for. So that boundary work being really important, and the fact that if she ever found her skin again, she'd escape to the sea, leaving all those behind her. That need to escape, that pull to water, it's there as well. The people-pleasing nature of this archetype literally letting your skin being found, dissolving your boundaries for love, not expressing your own needs because you might be uncertain of them because you're an empath. It's how we fall into people pleasing and codependency. The myth of the Selkie is actually the emotional landscape of the Page of Cups. Male Selkies are said to be responsible for storms and shipwrecks, which they cause in response to seal hunting. And this is perfect for this archetype in shadow, because they can be very childlike, throwing tantrums to get their own way rather than expressing their needs, often because they don't know what those needs are, or they need to work on throat chakra, expressing needs. It's really hard for this archetype. There's a quote by Lucy Cooper from her book The Element Encyclopedia of Fairies that says, "It was believed that when a drop of Selkie blood was shed in the sea, ships would seek shelter, for it would give rise to a mighty storm." That's that tantrum throwing. And I love the fact that male Selkies also are said to like to seduce dissatisfied women. All a woman would need to do to summon one is to stand at the shoreline and shed 7 tears into the sea. How beautiful is that? Now, in this card, we see a human figure, not a Selkie, but a human figure, the daughter of a human and a Selkie. And you can see her webbed fingers here. She's a child of a human and a Selkie moving between the worlds. So she's a shapeshifter living in the water and on land. So she knows the secrets hidden deep down in the kelp forest, which we see here, where the seals and the Selkie are said to swim together, but also the secrets on land. She knows all the secrets. A fantastic representation of the empath, this knowing of all the worlds. What a brilliant representation of the empath archetype. The need to escape to water, the pull to dissolve their boundaries and to step into passionate love affairs where they lose their own selves. It's all there. We're told in the book that we must listen to our hearts, for there are messages waiting for us there, and where to find them. This book points us to beautiful words. Now remember, this archetype loves beauty and the arts and story and poem, and we are sent back to our youth to explore messages and words in our favourite stories of our youth. Words here are described as keys to open doors to other realms, to magic and other ways of being. What a beautiful nod to this archetype's need to see beauty and to have beautiful words around them and to find other ways of being. We don't need to love codependently, to hand over our seal skin to others or to allow it to be found. We can use beautiful words to inspire us, words from our own mouth as well, to speak our own needs, to find the magic that we want in stories and to demand it be so. As the book concludes, we're the author of our own story. We should be the hero or the heroine of the myth, not the person having our seal skin found. This is a call to look into our heart, to look to beautiful words that inspire us, and to do the work that this archetype needs so much, to pick up our pen, to find our own beauty, to find our own words that inspire, not to be needy and to look to others to give it to us in a codependent relationship. We need to find those words ourselves, to listen to our own heart. What do we need? What do we love? To self-validate instead of looking outside of ourselves to others, to draw away from the needs of others for a time, to escape to the ocean, so that we can then be inspired to pick up our own pen and make the story about us. The Page of Cups needs to make the story about them, to recharge, to cleanse, to refresh, to ground, to do the boundary work, to understand that our needs count too, to reclaim our shedded skin, to demand a stop to the giving at all costs and ask, what do we want? What do we need? and to look to creativity, to stories, to beautiful words, to poetry, to the arts, to the ocean for grounding, healing and portals into magic, to connect us to our dreams, to give us permission to shapeshift into a story that's more about us. I absolutely love the Selkie myth used as a depiction of the Page of Cups. Okay, the Messenger of Air, or our Page of Swords. It's the Sword Maiden in the Arthurian Tarot, and it's the Seed of Thunder, the White Fox in the Gentle Tarot, leaping and finding things in the snow that another animal might miss. And that's the Page of Swords archetype, connecting the dots, asking questions why, using the sword to cut through bullshit and to get to truth. The Page of Swords in Ethony's book is called the detective, piecing together the clues, finding the solutions, asking why, finding the truth to any puzzle, solving the problems. Don't go to a Page of Swords to have a problem solved unless you truly want it solved. So we have an observant problem solver, alert, notices things, spots things even under the snow that other people might miss. Never underestimate the Page of Swords. They know more than you think because they pay attention. They spot the things under the snow. They spot the patterns. They spot the symbols. They put it all together and puzzle solve. Problem solving elites, this archetype is. Nothing pleases them more than unearthing the hidden, discovering the secret. They're the truth seeker. Now in the Witch's Wisdom, we see the Messenger of Air. We see this child with feathers on their ankles. This is the child that would ask why. The Page of Swords as a child, the kid always asking questions, always asking why. And we're told with this card to ask the questions. We're told to remember our childhood dreams, so a world before adult problems or challenges. We're told to go back to the childhood dreams that we used to dream. And I think we're asked to go there because in our childhood dreams, anything was possible. Anything at all. If we wanted to fly, we could fly. If we wanted to be a rock star, we could be a rock star. Childhood dreams are a place where everything is possible and every solution is at hand. The dream place of the Page of Swords, with the answer to every problem, all solutions to every questions asked readily available. But we're told not only to remember our dreams, but to believe in them again. It says dream, ask, believe. Anything is possible. We're transported back to that place where we're told to pick up our dreams again, to ask questions about them, to believe it's possible, to sort them out. Anything is possible, the book says. We're told that if we reach out and ask with a pure heart, this card will bring back answers in our dreams, in patterns, symbols, in synchronicities. We're told to listen to our dreams, to find magic awakening inside us. Remember, the Page of Swords is the detective hopping on the snow, finding patterns and symbols. To call out and to start looking for symbols. Our dream world is pulled in as well, to listen to the whispers on the wind, wherever you get that from, whether it be from signs from animals or deity or nature, or the dream landscape and astral travel. We're told that anything is possible, and there are lots of steps in to find the answers to our questions. In this card, we see the geese flying between worlds, whispering in the little boy's ear, the little boy that asks why and believes again. I love this depiction of the Page of Swords. And then finally we come to the Messenger of Earth, or the Page of Pentacles, the Seed of Stones in the Gentle Tarot. And my least favourite card in the whole of the Arthurian Tarot, the Stone Maiden. But what we do see is blood on snow in this card, and we see a snowy landscape here, and I think that's important to hold on to, because more than any card in the tarot, the Page of Pentacles, or the Messenger of Earth, is the naturalist, the archetype most connected to nature and animals, often enjoying animal company way more than human company. If any archetype was going to be aware of the dangers facing Mother Earth at the moment, with global warming and an environmental crisis pending beyond anything we've ever seen before, it's this archetype. And I think that's why it's really important that this Messenger of Earth is in a snowy landscape, because that's the front line of environmental disaster. In the Witch's Wisdom deck, this archetype is called the Reindeer Seer. We can see the connection here with the animal, the hand on it, the companionship there. In this deck, we're also told that the seer carries a heavy burden, and as an archetype most connected with nature, as I said before, and with animals and with flora and fauna, and most connected with Mother Earth, then no wonder it's carrying the burden it is, looking off into the distance, wondering what on earth we're going to do. Don't forget, this tarot is the Witch's Wisdom, so there's the connection through the elements into Mother Earth at its core, and Mother Earth is in crisis, and I think that really is why there's snow on this landscape. The seer with the heavy burden of seeing the crisis that calls us to action, and the book says that the future needs witches. It's a call to action, this card, which I think if this card had been drawn in a different time, we may have seen too. But what to do? The future needs witches. What do we do? Well, don't forget that the Page of Pentacles is an archetype that simplifies things down. They're not great at seeing the big picture, they're just great at seeing the next step and getting on with it quietly and gently. While other people are still talking, the Page of Pentacles will be up and doing, working on the next step, not making things too complicated, keeping it simple. That's what we're called to do. We're told that not everything is in our control, so don't make it too complicated. We don't have the power to change everything, but we can change ourselves. We can work out what the next step is and do that, to control ourselves, to make a change, for us to take one step at a time. The Reindeer Seer asks us to heal ourselves and then the world, but to simply commit to help Mother Earth, to sign a contract to help. And of course this page as well is about news about jobs coming in or contracts, but here the contract is a contract with Mother Earth, our word to Mother Earth to help. And we're told very clearly, witches don't break contracts. So this is a call to sign a contract with Mother Earth, a call to action to help heal nature and our relationship with Mother Earth, to seek out practically how we're led to heal, to bring nature back from the brink. And it's okay to do it one step at a time, to relieve the burden that the Reindeer Seer is feeling. And I think now you can see why blood on the snow in the Arthurian Tarot links as well. And we have a young deer here in the Gentle Tarot as well. So the Page of Pentacles, a call to action from the Reindeer Seer. So that's it, guys. Those are my musings, my personal musings on these 4 page cards or messenger cards from the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. It might not be your take on it, because I know that people can see and read cards differently. So I'm not saying this is the only take, but it's my take on these cards. I think they're absolutely amazing. a call to action from the naturalist, a call to ask questions of the detective, a call to not overlook our lonely first steps within our burning ambition to see the pine cone and pick it up, a call to look to beauty and creativity as portals and keys to transform ourselves, to not overgive or love codependently. From the Empath, wonderful depictions of the 4 messenger cards. I hope that was interesting. I'm going to carry on studying the court cards and I'll bring the Knights to you next. Thanks so much guys for watching and listening. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.